Two-stroke shine, chrome on every corner, every bolt's a perfect line. Jay's got magic fingers.
1996 CR250R MC themed bike for you right now. 1996 was just the culmination of a lot of years leading up to it, with Honda dominating the 80s and into the 90s with Bale and Stanton, those types of guys, and the McGrath shows up and just starts taking over. And as he was crowned the king of Supercross, this is when it was right at that time frame. And these bikes looked cool. Everything McGrath wore was cool. Everything about McGrath was cool. Even if we look back and kind of think it's a little funny now, it definitely was cool at the time. And this bike is a themed bike for that time. It's not a replica, but it's kind of close looking. Decalworks made us some cool looking graphics to go with that time frame, and we're going to walk over everything we did to this bike. First of all, before I get too far, I have a previous video that talks about why not to build a bike like this. So that's in a whole nother video. So now I have that video, and there's a bunch of reasons I give as to why. So if you're watching this video, you've already gone past that one, and you're saying, hey, I'm going to go all in, like Jay and Donnie do and these guys do. So my thing is, it needs to be a bike that has good sentimental value or is going to be worth a lot in a resale situation like a CR250 or a KX500. Certain bikes, you have to make sure that they have a value or that they're sentimental to you, your family, your uncle, your dad, somebody like that. And that's a reason that you decide that you want to go ahead and refurbish it and bring it back to life. It doesn't have to be to this extent. And we'll talk, in that video I talk about some of the pitfalls that you'll run into. But in this video, we're just going to talk about all the cool things we did. Okay, so first of all, I talked about the themed look, and Decalworks made us some cool looking graphics. They have plastic as well that they get from UFO, which makes a lot of this older bike plastic. Also, Moto Seat installed this cool Throttle Jockey seat cover, which still has this retro look. They make these up and it looks really good. So these bikes, the frames we're going to be a key component. So we take it down to the frame, and we built 5 of these bikes. So we take it down to the frame, we get the frame sandblasted and look for any potential cracks or problems, and we weld up those dings and dents. Also in the foot peg pinholes, we'll actually weld up, put little tabs in there so the foot pegs aren't sloppy. IMS still makes, they call them core foot pegs, which look very similar to like what a factory peg would look like back then. It's not tie, but it looks really cool, and it's kind of era correct. Enduro Engineering makes a really cool brake tip, which you can remove the stock ones, because about everybody's stock brake lever, the brake tip would be smashed in, so it's really easy to do that. Of course, you're going to have new brake lines. Galfer has some brake lines and Pro X rotors. You can rebuild all your stock components here. You'd be surprised at how many parts we retained and just rebuilt. We also rebuilt the stock hubs, rebuilt those with Nackstar and used Pro X bearings, and then get some new rims from Nackstar. Of course, mounted up with some Pro X sprockets, Spec bolt, and some Dunlop tires. We did that front and rear. One of the biggest, most difficult situations is suspension. Racetech was able to go through the stock suspension and assess it. A lot of suspension companies don't want to mess with older bikes because of the hassle. We ended up using a couple sets of suspension on each bike to come up with a good set for each one. So that's a common problem, and you can see they're hard anodized, and that reason for that is because the tolerances wear out, so we use a hard anodized to make it thicker on the inside. Okay, and we did a lot of vapor blasting, like with the triple clamps. We just run the stock triple clamps, which are really nice and easy. And we have our Motion Pro throttle tube, works connection, perch, and lever. And then something that's like an oxymoron or a contrasting juxtaposition here is we have Emig grips from ODI on this McGrath-themed bike, which is kind of funny and ironic. And I failed to mention, when the frame's all done, we get them powder coated. San Diego Powder Coating, Southern California, does a good job. We did the subframe and the frame and the shock spring to all match. ICW strengthens up the radiators for us, and straightens them up and puts some bracing in there. That's really nice. OEM radiators fit the best, and that's why it's nice to fix those up. Before we get into the engine, I'm going to talk about the FMF. They only make a gnarly, because on these older bikes, it's tough for them to offer multiple additions of pipes. So they make a gnarly, which is chromed. We get it stripped and then treated, and in this case, Sano Metal Finishing, which is unfortunately a closed up shop, was able to clear coat it after Robbie's pipe repair had buffed out the pipe for us and gave us this cool factory look. So really rad looking pipe that we have on here. And then the shorty silencer, FMF only makes the longer one, so we're able to shorten that up to have the shortier silencer in here. Now with the engine, we did a full rebuild. And when I say rebuild, we're talking everything apart. And so Brad, my buddy at Parapros, was able to rebuild the engine. And while it was apart, we did some Cerakoting of some engine cases, all new bolts from Spec Bolt, as you can see, and then all new bearings and seals from ProX and Cometic, and then new Wiseco piston. Now, all this, the cylinder and head was all modified by Tom Morgan Racing. He's back east, and he does a great job on two-strokes and knows what he's doing. So he's able to do that and rebuild the crankshaft with a ProX rod as well. The shifter is from Tusk, which looks really nice when I stripped it down and vapor blasted. It gives it more of a factory look rather than an anodized. All of our brake pads and components are all ProX parts. ProX makes a lot of these rebuild pieces. For the most part, the engine, you can round up most of the parts you need to rebuild one of these engines on this thing. When you get into the transmission parts, stators, those types of things are going to be very hard to locate. We ended up buying about 2 engines, 2 bottom ends for every engine I did when I was rebuilding these to get good components to finish them up. And we found that the stock stators and electrical stuff was kind of the best fit. Also, the air boots that leave the engine and also go to the air filter, those 2 boots are not available, and those are kind of difficult to locate. So you want to get those things if you're going to be doing one of these. And we do have the 96 carb on here, which is a little bit larger carb. Okay, that's a lot of parts. I don't know. I haven't really done the math on exactly how much money it would take to do this, but I'm going to guess somewhere in the 6 to 8 grand range if you did all the work yourself. Okay, so it would take somewhere in that to build one of these things, but it's a cool thing to look at. Most of the guys that are going to be looking to buy like one of these are going to have it for their garage, man cave, whatever. They're not going to necessarily take it on the track. One of the downsides I tell people of taking on the track is they go, well, you should use it. Well, something goes wrong, like a transmission part or whatever. We use the best pieces we could. Something goes wrong, it's going to be very difficult to get it fixed and all that hassle. So it's up to whoever ends up with this bike someday. So anyway, that's a cool look at it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at this bike. Appreciate Donnie helping and shooting photos and this bike. Remember to hit me up with any tech questions. You can email us at dirtbiketv1. You can go to our website, email from there, and send us any type of questions you have, help with, what used bike or new bike that you could be interested in buying. I'm glad to help on that kind of stuff. Email is a whole lot easier for me to communicate that way because I can sit down and send you proper links and all that and spend appropriate time. So hope you guys do that. Remember to use our links when shopping. Our Rocky Mountain link is in the video and also from our site. That's helpful. We appreciate that. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on the track or trail. It's like Cheech and Chong in here. Nothing beats that smell though. Whew.
Scrolling through the channel, see the 2-stroke shine. Chrome on every corner, every bolt's a perfect line. Jay's got magic fingers turning rust into gold, but you don't see the story that the budget never told. Show up at the door. You got a paycheck and a baby on the floor. You think your match is built in a little home shack, but that dream's gonna drain your wallet dead. You're chasing unicorn parts in the dead of night. Every good deal hits your car just right. By the time that roller finally hits the stand, you could have had a brand new rocket in your hands. No, 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 don't build it like that. Don't turn your bank account into a welcome mat for every shiny part that you throw in the cart when a showroom bike could have been your start. Whoa, don't copy every wild idea. That dirt bike TV magic takes more than it appears. Just ride more wrench, let your money roll. No, 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 don't project back your soul. You're pulling on bearings from a frame that's bent. Hours in the box fish, every paycheck spent. Hunting rare plastics from a forum post. Paying double shipping from some far off coast. Jay makes it look easy in a 20-minute show, but there's years of know-how you don't even know. He's got torque specs living in his head like a map. You got strip the seized up heart. Skip the hunt for a 20, yeah, back ordered part.